Hello, lovely people. Welcome to Dax Podcast, the only live podcast based in China. And as you already know, every week we bring special guests to you. And today we are with one special guest. If you are in China and you are with a student visa, you are not allowed to work legally. So today we are with one special guest who is coming to teach us other opportunities Chinese international students in China can also realize or learn, and through these opportunities they can also make some money, even apart from money, gaining some skills or other opportunities aside studying in China. Today, our special guest is Mr. Jerry. He has stayed in China for several years, so many years, and today he's come to share his personal experience about the opportunities in China for international students. Welcome, Mr. Jerry.
Welcome, Mr. Dax.
How are you doing, sir?
We thank God for life. We're doing good.
Wow, interesting. One thing I love about you is your voice. You have that strong, energetic voice. And today, I know we will enjoy this conversation. When we talk about Mr. Jerry, who is Mr. Jerry?
Mr. Jerry, where do I start? It's just I would say it's just a young man who has been through a lot in terms of
Okay.
life. Where do I start from? I'll start first. The fact that I'm from Tongo. My origin is from Tongo. That is in the Upper East. But
Yeah.
I was born and raised in Accra, so that is what
Okay.
I can say. I've been through the school system. I went to my primary school, private, but JSS I went to in the Kanda Saito School, those Kanda cluster schools. That's where I went by the GBC.
Okay.
Then from there I went to Achimota School, and I studied in Achimota
Okay.
School. And from Achimota School, I went to KNUST. And from KNUST, I worked with Ghana Standard Board. Then, now it's called Ghana Standard Authority.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I worked for some time until I got a scholarship to come here, to come to China to study. I think I was among the first or second batch of students to enjoy Shanghai government scholarship.
Oh, wow.
So that is how I came to China. And after was in China, um, we're just being active, looking for our way around. And at the end of the
Yeah.
day, we graduated and we continue what we are doing in China. So that's a little bit background about me.
Wow, interesting. To our audience who don't know about what he was mentioning, in short, he's from Ghana. So, yeah, welcome. And from which year did you come to China?
I would say I came to China 2007, 2008, thereabout.
2007.
2008, thereabout. That is when I came to China. Because as I remember my visa. As I remember, it was August 27th. August 27th, I
Yeah.
landed in China.
Oh, wow. 2007. Guys, you won't believe that time I was in primary school. Wow, interesting. So coming to China in the year 2007, I think that was the early stages coming to China, and I don't know, were there much foreigners in China or in Shanghai?
Shanghai, I don't know about the experience in the small cities, but in Shanghai, there had always been foreigners. The history of Shanghai, in Shanghai is the most liberal, open. You know, when Chinese history of closing their country since the emperor time, China has been a closed country
Yeah.
until what's the name? Deng Xiaoping came and opened China.
Yes.
But with all those times, or Shanghai has always been friendly to to
Foreigners.
foreigners. So
Yeah.
I would say they were not many, but they were many because you cannot go out without meeting a foreigner. Since I came to Shanghai, I've never
Yeah.
experienced that. Just go out a day without meeting a foreigner. You always meet a foreigner one way or the other.
Wow, interesting. We have Samuel Nyamiche watching live. He said Ghana is very proud of you, and thank you, Sammy. That is why we have him as our special guest, and thank you for watching live. So, in fact, you came in 2007, and straight away you came to Shanghai. I personally and currently, several people who want to come to China are always reluctant to come to China because of one, because of them being unable to work legally in China. That is one of the major reasons why most people don't like to come to China. And two, language barrier. But because we are focusing on the jobs and the opportunities, how was the opportunities then in 2007, 2008 for
Um,
international students?
for international student, when we came, we had opportunities like I don't know whether because of I think it also has to do with where you are staying. If you are staying in some maybe your school
Okay.
is in some small town, the opportunities are
Yes.
limited. But if your school is in a big city like Shanghai, Beijing, the
Yes.
opportunities you have more opportunities. So the opportunities were there. So you could, despite the fact that we always say China has its question mark.
Yes.
If you're looking for it, you get. I remember some of the people were doing football coaching part time. I remember one guy from
Okay.
Tanzania was doing football coaching part time, and on the summer holidays they take them out to
Okay.
Thailand and other places. Fast
Oh,
forward now,
wow.
the remnant or the organization was working has developed. Now people have finished school and have taken that job full time.
Oh,
Yeah, I've taken that full time. I know one guy even did his bachelor's master's. Taking as we are currently talking, he's
yes.
taking the expat children and some Chinese children. They are in Europe. They are going on a tour.
Oh,
Yeah, so when we came, the opportunities were there, but now the opportunities are even more. It's just that you have to look for it. Because when we came, just like the beginning of all things, most people will say, "Oh, it's only teaching. It's only teaching."
yes.
So in a way, it was kind of limited, and because there was no ban at that time, as we had after 2019, there were all kinds of things like you could get somebody could be going to house, they call it in Chinese, jiao. You go to the house and teach. You were making
Yes.
good money because if you're on full scholarship, you don't worry about anything. But if you're not on full
Yes.
scholarship, that is where you think about accommodation and other things. But on full scholarship, all you think is you waiting every month your money comes, then your stipends. So the opportunities are there. It's just that now, because of COVID and its implications, the
Yes.
opportunities have also what evolved. So you have to look for
Yes.
them before you can get them.
Wow. Interesting. I Before we even talk about the opportunities, I can really relate. I came to China in 2018 and I my city was Zhengzhou, Henan province.
I
And
see.
after 4 years, I moved to Suzhou. When I came to Suzhou, I realized China was so different. Everything was different. The opportunities I never had in Zhengzhou, I had so many opportunities. I was like, what? In fact, so what you are saying is very true. The city you come in China has a very great effect on you. When I came to Suzhou, I could see the difference. So I always advise people, even when you are coming to China, sometimes the city is also very important. The city is very, very important.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Maybe I can
So
say something to what you're saying.
okay.
Maybe when you're coming, depending on your scholarship or depending on how you came,
Yes.
you have no control over it. But if you can have control over it, fine. That is if you are fee paying, then I advise you to go to the big city. But if you came, it was scholarship that brought you here and took you to your school. The only suggestion I would suggest is
Yes.
that try and make friends from in big cities so that when it's summer holiday, you don't stay in your school. You go
Mm.
winter vacation, you go and experience other cities and other
Yes.
things. It's just like where we're coming from in GH. I remember
Yes.
the first time in Ghana, I went to gym, aviation fitness center, whatever they call it. You all know that place.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
and I went to use their gym equipment. I was blown. My mind was blown because the gym I used to go were using what car parts to train.
Yeah.
And so it's like that. When you come and you're in a big city, you start looking around. You see, and also the type of friends you make. Our time we didn't have WeChat, but you guys, your time you have social media. And so if
Yes.
you're in a group and you see people are good, gravitate towards them. They will share their experience so that you don't make the same mistake. I always say that any encounter I have with people, especially
Yeah.
students in China, I want them to avoid every single mistake I did so that they will just cross and go higher and better than me.
Oh wow. In fact, that is really true, and I think it's a very good advice. Like when you are coming to China, yours is to just leave your country and come to China. So you don't even care about the city. Yours is coming to China. Then
Mhm.
so you don't have control over that. So that is really true. And I love that advice. We have to visit friends, and through that we can learn very well. Thank you very much. I love this advice, and I know it will be very useful to our audience. Now, after being in Shanghai for some time, what are the common or opportunities students should expect being in China?
Um, when you're a student, you should first try and look for how do you call it, internship. And when you start one internship, it will lead you to other things. The other thing is that you should ask people. We have a saying, they say, I don't know
Intention.
how to say it literally, but it's like if you don't sell your sickness, you don't get your medicine.
Yes.
Yeah, you should do that. You should talk to people. I remember when I came, for example, I had
Yeah.
one teaching job in somebody's house. How did I get a job? The person had
Yeah.
come here and finished and went to Ghana. Somebody
Okay.
was in Ghana and got me job in China
Hmm.
because what? He had worked there and he pushed me there. So
Yes.
as a student, you might be limited because of one, as of now, because of the aftermath of COVID. You get it.
Yes.
So opportunity which was easy money job like maybe going to house to teach and other things might have reduced.
Yes.
Yeah, but there are other means you can survive with it. Like other students, I know some came and were doing small business. It might you might say, oh, it's not legal. In other parts of the world we call them side hustle. But
Yes.
yes, but here in China, we will say maybe it's not legal. But those are the small things you can do. Like look for sports in big cities. You can be a coach, part-time
Okay.
coach. Maybe teach kids soccer and other things. There are now people who are doing barbering. They are cutting people's hair. There are some who are working in real jobs. If you go to when we came, there was no boss app. There's an app called Boss. You can go there
Okay.
and find jobs. As we are talking now, if you go there and look for summer jobs, you will get it and you get the opportunity to do it. You don't have to sit around, you just have to go around and it will
Yeah.
help yourself. But the most important thing is that you have to learn the language because if you
Yeah.
know, if you,
Before. Yeah. Yeah. I want to. Sorry to interrupt you, but I feel like you have mentioned so much within this short time. For example, I personally, when I came to China, I was like, wow, I wish I had this skill, how to cut hair. If I had that skill and I was very good at that, I would have made a lot of money because so many people I know who are very good at these skills, they never depended on their parents or anything. They depended on solely on this because they were able to make money out of these things. So to our dear audience who are thinking of coming to China or anything, if you have these skills, they are so useful. Cutting hair, if you're an African, if you come to China, most Chinese barbers cannot cut your hair well. So they need you as a foreigner, as an African, you'll be cutting others' hair and be making good money out of that. So if you
be-
have that skill, yeah,
and besides that, people are doing
yeah,
other things. At time people are not cooking. Now you see people cooking like maybe African food and sharing, some sewing, something they can use their hand and do. People are doing it. People making meat
yeah,
pie and selling. They are doing it. If you know how to sew too, you can sew people African dress. You make money. These are something we call them side hustle. You
yes,
can do. And for the whites, maybe a place people don't come a lot, but you can advertise yourself on Facebook, Instagram as a tour guide, wherever
yeah,
city you are, especially if you are in big city. People can yet me hire you. They can hire you for a tour. Maybe you can charge 700, $100
Yes.
200 for 1 day tour. These are opportunities people are taking advantage of.
Wow. Interesting. With all these kind of opportunities that you have mentioned, it seems like in summary, I can say that there are opportunities we should create for ourselves.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's not pertaining to only China. Any person who has traveled to other countries will tell you if you go and you are not proactive, you'll be left behind. So that is what it is. You just have to be a little bit proactive and be asking. Like when we came like this, sometimes we know, as we always say, I don't want to say it, I won't pay SM, I won't
Yeah,
pay
yeah,
before SM, but it's like the devil you know is better than the angel you know. You know what
yeah.
you expect from China and what not to expect. So sometimes you go just like a salesperson looking for a job and trying to sell your skill. And sometimes you might think it didn't work, but they will call you, or you might even open another way for somebody because
Yes.
they are now opening up. They want more people.
Wow. You mentioned we should ask.
Hmm.
Who should we ask and where should we ask?
For example, if it's a school, you should go to the schools. If it's a barbering shop, you can go. I know one guy when he started, he goes to the barbering shop on weekends. Oh,
Oh,
Nimenje Biemeyo, why go hoja here litofa? Like you ask them, they'll tell, oh, we don't have. Oh, but I can do it. Can you call me if somebody, a black person comes here? Can you call him? Oh, this is my number, so that we schedule an appointment. Do you get it?
yeah.
So you have to ask. If you sit down, it will not work because now COVID has come in. Post COVID, Chinese themselves are struggling with jobs.
Yes.
Yes, so in fact, the how do you call it? The opportunities are getting smaller and smaller, but uh, those who keep looking for it, they will get it. So that is how it is. I'm not saying it's easy that you go and
Yeah.
it's there, but you have to look for it. Like for example, I don't want to see, this is not related to job, but let's say if you are in school here,
Yeah.
maybe I'll hold on. Then when we come to the school, we'll talk about the opportunities you can get in the school.
Okay, sure. Yeah. We'll come there. You were talking about the language and I interrupted.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
With the language, when you come to China, do everything possible to learn the language. Most schools, if you're a foreign student, they have almost like free class you can go and learn. So make sure you learn the language. And one of the mistake I did was that when we came, we had 1 year free to learn language.
Yes.
And when I look back, I wish I'd taken it more serious. Just
Okay.
imagine you have a whole year to learn Chinese language, and I couldn't take advantage to get a translation certificate. Imagine you are in China 1 year, they give
Yes.
you stipends. You are not thinking about your course. All you do is you go for language class and come back in the afternoon. From afternoon you are free. You only go for morning class
Yes.
for 1 year. I even admit that when I came, I could not speak Chinese. But you realize that if you are forceful, uh, you will pick up the language. And once you pick the language, a lot of things become easier because if you can speak Chinese or interact in Chinese, a lot of things will be open to you. Sometimes in the big cities, when you go to those gated community, just for the fact that you can
Yeah.
speak Chinese, all those protocols they subject foreigners, they will not subject you to. So it opens a lot of this. And with regards to the language, if you are in China and you are
Yes.
a student, if you can, try and get a language certificate, Chinese language certificate, a translator certificate. Because in Ghana, when we hear the case of Aisha Wang and other things, it's not that they cannot get people like us to do the
Yes.
translation in court, but when it comes to court case, they need somebody who is professional, somebody who has a certificate, so that they can say
Okay.
this person translated, he's a professional translator, this is his certificate, so that nobody can stand on that case and say because of that the case
Yeah.
has been thrown out of court. So, and in relating to that too, if you plan to going home, there are so many jobs, military, all those paramilitary. They are looking for people with Chinese background who can
Yeah.
speak Chinese, who have a certificate to show that, oh, this I'm a translator, level this thing. You always find, you always, they are looking for people. People say army, they will not take people. Police, they won't take people. Believe you me, if you have your certificate, they will take you. They need them. Immigration needs them. SERPs need them. So it's very important. If you are a student, you should try and get a certificate, because translator certificate, because you never know. Maybe you finish school and you find yourself in Ghana. You finish
Yeah.
school, if you don't use it, you never know. One day there can be you can be working at Ghana mission in China. You never know. So it
Yes.
opens a lot of opportunity.
Wow. In fact, I know there are so many people who are just like you. They had the opportunity to learn Chinese language, but they are unable to learn. What do you think was the main reason why you couldn't take that opportunity during that time?
Um, just like um, something we used to do in Ghana, we learned French, but
Yes.
the enthusiasm is not there.
Okay.
You get it? We learn French. Then the normal comment is that French is the coin. Why are we taking
Yeah.
French? But as we go, we realize that, oh, if you can speak more language, there are opportunities. It's the fact that we were not made aware. You get it? Some of us were learning the
Yeah.
language because we just wanted to navigate around.
Yeah.
Some too is like, oh, Chinese is difficult. Me, I don't waste my time. I came to study, not to come and learn. So all they care is to concentrate on their books. You
Yes.
get it? So once you do like that, and you are not made aware of the opportunity, you realize at the end of the day, if you also have a closed mindset, you will not. Last week, I was referring a job to a guy who had been in China, a
Okay.
4,000 Ghana cedi job with free accommodation and meal. He couldn't,
Wow.
because he didn't learn, he didn't study in China. Like, he didn't take the language serious. So he's in
Oh.
Ghana, he's not employed. There's a 4,000 Ghana cedi job with free meal and accommodation. He couldn't do it. So I had to share it with other people. If somebody sent a job
Yeah.
to me, then I had to share it with other people because he couldn't do it.
Mm. With this language, in fact, I feel like one major reason why people are unable to learn the languages, they don't know the why they should learn the language. I think I can also relate. Initially, I never wanted to learn the language until I met my first Chinese friend, and he sent me to his hometown, and we're using Google Translator to translate. And just with that, Chinese were bringing me fruits and stuff. So after my trip, I was like, what? I have to take this language so serious. So these people are so caring to the extent that I can't speak the language, but they are willing to use Google Translator to communicate with me. So that really encouraged me to learn the language. Had it not been that, I would have lived in China and never take the language so serious.
Exactly.
So I think so many people should know the why you should learn the language. And I
Hmm.
personally, I can testify to that. Learning Chinese language has created more opportunities to me than the actual reason why I came here. Even my major has never created any opportunity like that
Hmm.
to me. So, in fact, the language is really very important. And I feel like it's the gateway to
Yeah,
China.
a lot of
If you,
people, all of us won't have all the opportunities. Some will have more than others. But the most important
yes,
thing is that you build your foundation in the language. I remember just before the COVID, I was doing
yeah,
something, and
yeah,
somebody was ready to sponsor me to go to Ghana. A Chinese. He
okay.
met me. We had dinner. He was moved. He said, "What are you doing in China?" That was a Chinese asked me, because he had a quite big company, a
Okay.
delivery company, and closed it down after touring Ghana for about 2 months. He closed it down and said it's wasting his time. He's going to do logistics in Ghana. And he said,
Oh,
he told me he's ready to buy me plane tickets and we go to Ghana. You pay me this amount. I'll be with him till the company established. If I want to continue to work with him, fine. But I was also busy doing my thing, so I didn't go with him. So yeah,
yes.
so that is what it is.
Wow, interesting. You have mentioned so much: the language, coaching jobs, teaching, getting a translation certificate. With the
Hmm.
translation certificate, Where can one get some?
Uh, you have to ask from your language school in a foreign
Okay.
office, or you yourself you can go online. But it's better you ask your teachers there.
Okay.
They would the foreign student office. They are even interested in helping foreigners do things like that. And
Okay.
with those ones, if you do it and is you are good, you can even with their companies. You can sell yourself. You know, Taobao is not only about selling things. Taobao, doing. If you know, those of us who have really integrated with the Chinese, we know how they use Douyin. They don't use
Okay.
TikTok like the way the Chinese use Douyin. The Douyin,
Yeah.
a lot of things you can find on Taobao, they are also on Douyin.
Okay.
There are lot of them, and what people sell services on and Taobao and Douyin. You can open your
Yeah.
own Taobao account and advertise yourself. Like you are a translator who can help them translate manuals.
Yes.
You know, they make a lot of product they want to send to African countries, other parts of the world, and sometimes when you see the manual, you laugh
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and those ones you can do. Actually, you can create a Taobao page for service for your account for services. I've repaired some of my things, my electronics on Taobao.
Yeah.
You get it? I know what I'm
Wow.
saying. People will be surprised that, hey, so I thought Taobao was only about selling things. No, you can book somebody. I remember I had an earpiece, this Beat earpiece. It
Yeah.
got spoiled. I went to Taobao.
Yeah.
I found a repairer. I sent it to him. He fixed it for me.
Wow. Interesting. I never thought about translating these manuals. Because yeah, I see several suppliers, their manuals are even in Chinese. They don't even have English manuals. They don't have other languages,
Yeah.
just Chinese. And even with the English manuals, just errors. Some of them you will not even understand
Mhm.
anything. Wow,
And
I
some are
never
even
thought that.
doing right now. I've seen some people doing live streaming, helping
Yeah,
Chinese selling things. You know, for the Chinese to hear a foreigner selling
yeah,
some things, it's 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 just like the way when we see a Obroni speaking Twi or any Ghana language,
yes,
we are more attracted to it. And I've seen Ghanaians selling things or doing live stream.
yeah. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, with the live stream, I've seen that even most of them is not, they don't sell to people within China, to the US,
Exactly.
UK, in these tabs. And you can have your own store in your own room. This is
Mm-hmm.
not something that you'll be outside going to their
Mm-hmm.
shop to have challenge with you being a student working illegal. I have some friends who do that as well. They have their everything in their room and they do this live stream even after school
Yeah.
to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, interesting. I'm writing some them down so that I won't forget some of
Maybe I
these
should
things.
say this before I we forget
Yeah.
we finish the language.
Yeah.
Douyin.
Yes.
Douyin has all the things you can find on Taobao. Douyin also replicate. WeChat live streaming also replicate. And there
Yes.
are deals you can find, especially on Douyin, deals. Like for
Yeah.
example, you might go on Taobao, you see something they are selling at 50. On Douyin, maybe they can tell you, buy two get one free
Yes.
on Douyin. So the Chinese are taking advantage of that. For example, when you want to travel,
Yes.
you can go to Douyin, you find a lot of discount hotels, but they have catch. Statistically, maybe a hotel has an occupancy
Yes.
rate of maybe 90%, and the 10% will always not be filled. So they can sell that at a discount so that they will tell you you cannot use
Okay.
that slot for Christmas, for Chinese New Year, but any other day you can use. So you can go there and find,
Yes.
even when it comes to even eating, like restaurant, you can go there and find nice deal. The Shanghai, the tallest tower, I've eaten there all
Yes.
because I went to Douyin and find a cheap deal, which I couldn't have, or I would not take about maybe
For the
1,005 to go and
going
eat.
there.
But me with some friends were able to eat that 300.
Hmm.
The one that is wrapped like a paper. We went to the
Yes.
highest place to have to eat. So
Hmm.
even though we are digressing, but that is with the language and what you can get from if you integrate yourself with Chinese.
Wow, interesting. In fact, for the language is very important, and so far, with so many people I've had on this podcast, everybody is talking about the language. Even if they are not good at the language, they are always saying they wish they can learn the language. They wish they had learned the language. So if you are thinking of coming to China or you are already in China, you should take your language so serious, and you will come back and thank us
Mm-hmm.
later. Wow. In fact, you've mentioned so many opportunities that students or international students are unaware about. What do you have other opportunities aside that? If not, we can start with the school, being in school.
Um, yeah, when it comes to a job, there's an app
Yes.
called Boss. It's a Chinese app, Boss.
Yes.
They also
Yes.
have the equivalent. I think Wuba. Let me check on my other phone and see, because they
Oh,
have
okay.
employment for, let me see,
Oh, but yeah, for Boss app,
51,
I have several friends. Okay, it's 51.
51job.com. I think that's the one the Chinese use a lot.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that one too. 51job.com.
Job or
Interesting.
jobs.
For
It's
the
been a,
boss, okay.
for the boss. This is what you
Okay.
should do. You create your
Yes.
profile in English. Then, if you can get a Chinese to also translate your CV or your profile into Chinese, that is what you upload first. Your Chinese CV,
Yeah.
you upload that one first. Then the
Okay.
English comes second. Then you create an account. And normally, some web browsers like Google Chrome or
Yes.
the Windows had the window. Which one is the latest? They have their browser, web browser. When
Yes.
you open those pages, you see that translate to English. Then you translate to English. So if you are looking for a job, for example, whichever job you are looking for, based on your background or your expertise, you can translate that job you are
Yes.
looking for in Chinese. Then you put it in the search engine. You put your location
Okay.
and everything, put it in the search engine. Now, when the search results are out, you use the at the I think the topmost they have a the web page. You translate it into English and you
Yes.
see the opportunity. That is, if your Chinese is not good, or even if your Chinese is not good, you can still copy each job prospect. Maybe they will write number one, this company, blah blah. You can just
Yes.
copy that one and paste
Translate.
and translate and see. And sometimes they will interact with you. You will be there and be receiving emails or text
Message.
message that this person has kind of maybe nudge you, just like we do in WeChat, has nudged you, so you should go and check what is there. And sometimes when you see those some opportunities, so you yourself, you apply to them. You say you are interested, and if you can type in Chinese, it goes a long way to help. Just use your English, translate and put it there. One unique thing about language is that I might not understand everything you are saying, but once
Yes.
I see whatever you've written by translator, I know this is what you are trying to say.
You understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Wow.
should do that. You'll be surprised. For some people, just like in life, some people will just apply one or two, they will get. Some two will apply for forever. Maybe it will appear as if they are not getting. Some two will apply maybe after 50 or 20 times, they will get. The most important that don't give up. You should just keep looking. So when it comes to the job, that is what you should do. And your language will take you far. When it comes to accommodation, you are looking for to stay out of school. If you can speak
Yes.
Chinese, the the agent, housing agent, they can help you get
Yes.
a good place. Just one good thing is that if you can speak Chinese, certain things they will do to a foreigner who can speak Chinese. They won't treat you the same because they
Yes.
know you can speak, and you should have good Chinese or Chinese friends who can be briefing you on what is happening. Because if you don't have them,
Yes.
you cannot really enjoy life in China. Sometimes certain things are happening, you are not aware. They can tell you
Yes.
about the trends, what is happening now. Then you update yourself. And for example, I just remember this as I would tell people, just in case you
Yes.
finish school in China and
Yes.
you intend to stay in China and you are looking for job.
Yes.
One of the things you do, I've forgotten exactly what happened. You need to now I remember. Yes, when it comes to your passport, when you change your passport, Chinese give you only
Yes.
10 days, 10 working days. That is 2 weeks to report that you've changed your passport. Don't sit down and say
Okay.
it's my visa is left with 1 month. When it's ready to expire, then I'll go with a new
Yeah.
passport so that they'll give it. They'll fine you.
Okay.
They'll fine you. The
That is
law, the law is not written anywhere. But after 10 days, when you have it, you have maximum 2 weeks. That is 10 working days to report your new
yeah.
passport. So that even if it's left with 2 days, they'll transfer that visa onto your new passport. Then you continue with your new passport. So this is something that I just remember. It's an experience that I went through. So I decided I'll tell people.
Wow. Interesting. I'm so glad you have mentioned all these things. Before we finish about the job, you mentioned there are some mistakes you made when you came to China.
Hmm.
One was the language.
Hmm.
What are the some of the other mistakes you wish you didn't do?
I wouldn't say it's like traveling around in China. If you
Yeah.
can, I'm not saying traveling big travel. There, even your
Yes.
small town, your small city, there are a lot of places. You'll be surprised you are not aware. Travel and go and see. Even
Okay.
factories. Sometimes you think that it's not necessary, but if you can go to factories, you tell them you just want to see, you communicate ahead, you want to find out what they do there, you'll be surprised. They allow you in to see. Sometimes you might not gain anything from it, but it's an inspiration. One day you are going to, it will inspire you to do some certain things. There are factory visits you can take advantage of. There, when you have opportunity, even though it's a bit nuisance, sitting at the
Yeah.
parks talking to old people. That is, if your Chinese is good, they
Yes.
open a lot of things. And one of the things I've learned also from China is that if you're in China, whether you smoke or not, wherever you go, try and have a packet of cigarette in your pocket. When you go
Okay.
to any any shaochu and you when you meet the guard, you just give him cigarette. The box you
Yeah.
take one or two. A lot of things you even forget about it. That is a Chinese culture. That's what they do. I saw a man who doesn't smoke, but he has cigarette. I asked him why. He said, yeah,
Yes.
it opens a lot of doors for him. When you go to some place, if you observe and you see the Chinese don't ask you whether you smoke or not, they just offer the box to
Yeah,
you.
they just give it here.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it opens a lot of opportunity. And even if you're wherever you are staying, if you are not on campus, even on campus, the eyes, the shifu, interact with them. Some of them are concerned,
Yeah.
but there are some who will be telling you a lot of things. You'll be surprised. They'll tell you, hey, do this one, do this, and you go places. So it's I can't remember all, but as we are talking,
Wow.
if they come along,
Yes.
these are some of the things
Yeah.
I can. And also when it comes to maybe uh, from my life staying there, when in terms of clothing, buy clothing when it's out of
Okay.
season. Like this is the time you should buy your winter clothing. They are cheaper at this time, especially let's say after Chinese New Year, the season is changing. You buy your winter clothing
Yes.
by my maximum by Women's Day. That is the last discount. You can get a lot of winter clothing. And when you want to buy things, check the time. For example, there's discount Women's Day, Chinese New Year, there's discount. Uh,
Yeah.
October, there's discount. Children's Day, there's discount. Uh, Dragon Boat Festival, there's discount. So if you are buying certain things, always look out for that. And the biggest discount is the 11 and now even they have 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are if in terms of purchasing. For example, when I was there as a student, sometimes maybe I want to buy something from Old Navy or Gap because for me I have big ties. So
Yeah.
when I came to China, I was having problem buying jeans because if I buy jeans within a short time,
Small.
not small, I think on betty. So
Oh.
yeah, so I got to know that I could get good ones in Old Navy and Gap, but they're also expensive.
Yes.
So what do? I go and monitor the price. Then after some time I realized that if this jeans is 300 or 250, when it's Women's Day, there'll be discount. I can walk in and take it for 99 or 150. Do you get it? And
Yes.
those ones I can wear them for a long time. So If you are observant, you get to know some of these things, and you learn how do you call it, how to move with their market and how to go around. So those are the simple things you can do.
Wow, interesting. You mentioned all these things. It has taught me that if you are coming to China, first of all, you need to love their culture because you mentioned their
Hmm.
language, even this smoking, even if you are not good at smoking. And I can really and I agree by that because I feel like there are so many people who are unable to access several opportunities in China because they do not love the culture. If you don't love something, you can never get access to that. So there are so many people, even the language, they don't like the food, they don't like everything about China, they don't like. So true, if you are this kind of person, I don't think it will be very easy for you to harness any opportunities in some way. I don't know if you can relate in that way or
Yeah, I remember when I came to, I think initially, after I settled
yeah.
down, I also started feeling some way about this place. It's like this behavior, this kind of thing, people, But one guy told me, he said, "You're already here, so take advantage of your time here. You might not like it here, but enjoy your time here. Not chilling
Exactly.
enjoyment. Oh. Take advantage of everything you can do here. It was nice. I once traveled to Europe,
Yeah.
and we were in the airport. Then there
Yeah.
was this Italian woman in front of me. In front of the Italian woman, there was a Chinese. We were taking a
Okay.
budget airline from, I think, from France to Italy. We're taking a budget airline, and the woman was trying to tell the Chinese that the budget airline, they don't allow two
Yeah.
bags. If you are holding two bags, they will charge you. So you take the small bag and put inside a big bag. Because of language barrier, she tried everything. The woman couldn't understand. So when I
Yeah.
came, and if one thing about Italians is that people, that is my experience with Italians, is that they are
Yeah.
friendly. If you
Yeah.
ask Italian 1 plus 1, he won't say it's two. He will tell you, you see this stone. If you take this one, two, then you get two. He won't say 1 plus 1, two. Answer that. That's how they are. So the
Yeah.
woman turned, because I was behind her. She turned and was like, "I'm trying to tell this lady in front that she doesn't put it. They will collect 50 euros up front, and she doesn't understand."
Yeah.
So to her surprise, I just spoke Chinese.
Translate. Yeah.
Immediately, the woman put the bag in the big one. She turned and asked, look at me and said, "Wow, how did you do it?" Then I told her, because I could. I stayed in China. And so,
Yeah.
wow, this is the first time seeing an African speaking Chinese, because it doesn't make this thing. And the good thing was that when we got
Yeah.
to Italy, when we got to Italy, she
Yeah.
made her husband drove me to my hotel for free,
Wow.
because we became friends. She told her husband,
Yeah.
yeah, so languages can open you a lot of opportunity.
Wow. That's really true. So anybody who is already in China or thinking of coming to China, everything is possible. We all never loved the culture, the language, but now we are used to and we are able to even speak little
Yeah, we
Chinese.
know there's question mark, but you shouldn't put your mindset all on the China question mark. Just take
Yeah.
advantage of what is there, whether you are there or not. Like we used to, I remember one guy came and was trying to, every Chinese he wants to try to correct them about their views concerning black. I said, my friend, they are 1.4 we are 1.4 billion. How much is Ghana? Shanghai population is even bigger than Ghana, so you can't change their mind. Just just go about your business. Those who come closer to you, you open their eyes. And most Chinese, when they travel, their perception change. Especially
Exactly.
when they go to Africa, their perception change. So you just mind your own business. Take advantage of what you can take, and forget about
Yeah.
those things.
You mentioned students visiting factories,
Mm-hmm.
and you just reminded me. This is one thing I wish in 2018 when I came, I started long time. I only started visiting factories last year, and in fact, the opportunities and so many things. So if you're in China, I can tell you any city. that you are in, they have 1,000 factories. And in fact, they are looking for foreigners to just come and visit.
Mhm.
You can be agents for these factories. You can even sell the products to your country, any country.
You can even if you are lucky enough,
Yeah,
they can even take you on part-time basis anytime they have a foreign client because they cannot talk to the person in English. So they will
exactly.
just send them to you. So they will make a arrangement with you that, hey, when we have this foreigner, you talk, or they can even look for client and say, hey, talk to them.
Yes.
Yeah, so those opportunities are also there.
In fact, so that is one thing I wish I started earlier. If I had known that this was this opportunity, I wouldn't have been even just wasting my time so much doing other stuff, which
Mhm.
was not necessary. So that one, I can really relate
And
visiting. Yeah.
and the other thing is you can also, as a student, you can look for, how do you call it? You can look for visa to other countries. And you can do that with getting your supervisor or the school to give you an introduction letter. You look for whatever their country requires you to do so that during the holidays, you
Yes.
can, if once you have your visa, you can go. Don't sit down in China and your 6 years is over and you've not taken advantage of that. I'm not saying it's easy, but if you go and ask for the requirement, it's just like some of us who came from home, our parents never bought a car. We always see
Yeah.
cars very something luxury.
Yeah.
But you'll be surprised when you go and talk to the dealership. They'll tell you, oh, even though the car is this amount of money, but we can give you the car every month. You pay thousand. Let's say in Ghana, thousand
Yes.
Ghana. If you don't go and ask, you wouldn't even know that you can do this.
Exactly.
These are the opportunities that is there. Like some of the things when I was there, I do, which I won't get in Ghana to do. I go to
Yeah.
showrooms and do a test drive. You'll be surprised. You go there, you can organize a test drive on weekend. You can go and sit
Yeah.
in those classic cars. They will drive you around. They are there. If you're in China, for example, there's Tesla factory. You can go and visit them. It's in Shanghai, the Giga factory. You go
Yeah.
online, you book everything. You go take a tour there, see what is happening there. Those are the opportunities you can take advantage of. If they do auto show, they do whatever show, and you can go there. Go. Don't just sit down. That's why I say you should be abreast with what is happening around you. Just take
Yeah.
advantage of it. If you are, if for example, if you're a student, okay, we'll come back to that when we talk about a student. We'll address that issue there.
Yeah, yeah, sure. In fact, I'm so happy I have you and you are mentioning so many points which will be useful to so many students. When you mentioned going to shows and everything, it's also another thing that I started last 2 years when I came to Sujo. When I came to Sujo, I met this agency. They deal in exhibition. So, like Shanghai exhibition stuff. So every time there's always exhibition where over 1,000 factories come to exhibit their products. You can get contacts of these factories. You can get networking. You can meet businessmen even from your country, other
Hmm.
countries. So I started that last 2 years. I was like, what? There's even something like this which exists, you
Yeah,
know?
actually, you can
So
even create a. One of my regrets is you can even create a, just as you said about factory. You can create a social media account just for the purpose of that. Any factory you visit, you tell them, I want to market you.
yes.
So you go there, you can take a video and come and put online. That will be your side gig. You'll be there. Somebody will call you, oh, I'm looking for this, I'm doing this. And you become the agent. You never know. So life there, you just have to learn to create opportunity.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, so with this one you are saying, as after I started that, I created a YouTube channel just for that importation from China, and I always post videos of these suppliers, these factories, and trust me, Mr. Jerry, and all my audience who are watching, it has been a life changing. You
You
meet,
see?
apart from even making money from that, you meet people, businessmen who have the money, willing, some will even come to China, meet you, you go with them to the factory, the person will sponsor everything. So with this, the opportunities are so much, even
Mm-hmm.
just with that,
Mm-hmm.
this factory exhibition. And I am doing that now. You can even check my other channel, those who are watching and those who will be watching pre-recorded. My other channel called Side Hustle with Dax. I have 1,500 subscribers now, and I have audience now. So
Yeah.
that is it. Going for exhibitions. And one thing I want to talk about the exhibition, some of the exhibitions that they organize, sometimes they don't allow students to go. They mostly like businessmen. But I have some agency, they organize students. If you're a student and you want to join, they will accept you and they will organize, they will pay for your hotel one night to even stay at Shanghai. Then the next day you visit the exhibition center and go back. If you
Mhm.
need any of them, you can just comment in the comment section and I'll get you contact of
And
these
your presentation
agents.
too is important. For example, if you're going
Yes.
for factory visit or you dress like a businessman. You don't just get up and wear t-shirt and other things.
Yeah.
It adds credibility to whatever it is. Whether you are fronting, it doesn't matter. You are trying to do something for yourself. So that is how
Yes.
it is.
Wow. In fact, thank you so much, Mr. Jerry. You've mentioned so much, which I wish I had known so many of these long time. I don't know if you still have some more
Yeah,
opportunities to
maybe
mention.
we'll talk about the student by then. I'll
Yeah, yeah. Okay, sure. So about the students.
when we came with student, when we came, they
Yeah.
only need people with languages. People Abba Fresh just come willing to learn Chinese and to teach you.
Yes.
But now because of social media, the scholarships, we have city scholarships. One thing about China is that they have city scholarships, they have province scholarship before they have the Ghana uh, China government scholarship.
Yes.
So there are a lot of scholarships. If you search, you find, but you have to read the fine print, what is into it. So first you
Yeah.
have to look for those things. I'm saying this because now, if you
Yeah.
can do Chinese language course in Ghana and have HSK, two even, your chances of
Yeah.
getting a full scholarship is higher than somebody who is competing for the same scholarship. You will be taken because I met
Yeah.
a recruiter who told me now there if you look for and one of the things they told me is that look for schools, okay, that
Yeah.
most of their courses align with the new policy. One road, is it one belt, one road, or whatever?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So you look for schools that are doing those kind of courses. They have good scholarship and take
Yeah.
advantage at the advantage of that. Some like Legon is doing, and I think Kumasi
Yeah.
also is doing. KNUSC is also doing Chinese course.
Yeah.
Just like when you were in Ghana, you could go to Alliance Française on your own to do language, which a lot of us don't take advantage. There are a lot of jobs open, United Nations jobs, multinational jobs open. I have a friend, if he could have speak French, he would have gone far. He's working with a multinational, but he can't speak French. So the near
Yeah.
British here is learning the language. So the way the world is going, you just have to prepare yourself for and take advantage of that.
Yeah. Wow. In fact, for the scholarships to me before coming to China, I always thought you can only come to China through agents and you have to pay huge sum of money. That has been my mindset until I graduated, before graduating from my bachelor, and somebody told me you can do all the application yourself. So I was
Hmm.
lucky and this person taught me everything. And trust me, I applied everything myself and I had full scholarship with stipends every month.
Even that one,
Through
cry, you can, as we are talking, it's an opportunity as a student. You can help
yeah.
people to
Yeah.
get scholarship and tell them, maybe Uchiminya scholarship, I'll get, you pay me 2,000, 3,000 RMB. If people are doing it, people are taking advantage. Once you can help the person get it, why not? But those
And
who are listening to us, you can also go online or share with your people back at home. Go
yes.
online and look for those courses because back at home we have data problems. So that is the problem, this thing. But if for somebody who is really serious, this shouldn't be an
Mm.
issue because people go and buy data and use it for
To
whatever
what?
their interest. So
Yes.
yeah, so it's this thing. So that is for students. If you want to enter here, that is what it is. If you are already here,
Yeah.
what you can enhance yourself is one. If you are doing, I always say that I don't know whether I should say it here. It's a
Yeah.
bit controversial. I always say if you want to come to study in China, a lot of the courses is better you come here for your masters and PhD, because sometimes some of the schools, because of
Yeah.
language barrier, you just be sitting in the classrooms, you don't understand it. They only give you English books to go and read on your own. And if you have been trained in
Yeah.
Ghana, you realize that when you come here to do your masters or PhD, uh, you know how to study, you know what for how to looking for. So you study on
Yes.
your own and get at whatever you're looking for. So when you come here, take advantage of your course. For example, you might be thinking, okay, if I finish my course, I want to go to another country to study. We'll talk about that. But we are
Yeah.
talking about if you want to continue your study here, maybe your first degree, masters.
Yeah.
Your course demands you to do 30 credits. Okay, make sure you do more than that. You can do 35 credits. You go extra lectures. Your friends
Yes.
will be sleeping in their room, but you are sowing a seed, because if you finish you finish your bachelor's and they needed 35 credit and you've done 40 and you apply for masters, tell me when they are looking for somebody to do masters, who should they take?
Exactly. The person who took more courses.
And don't be like any other person. Attend all the lectures. Try to
Yeah.
sit in front so that, and let the lecturers know you, let the professors know you. You get it.
Yes.
Be also active in the international student front. Be going there. Let them know you. Let them know your intention. Like, hey, may I want to do my masters here. Let
Yes.
them know and be very active in the international student programs. They are looking for people to go and do Dragon Boat Festival. Avail yourself. Any other thing, avail yourself. Then when you
Yeah.
do things like that and the opportunities, you will be considered before any other person. And you look, sometimes you have to ask the international student, how can I qualify for masters? What do I have? They will tell you, oh, you'll be surprised. They will easily tell you. But you don't wait when you are finishing, you ask. When you are from first degree and you want to do your masters, you start asking. Then you
Yes.
start fulfilling all those requirements. So that by the time it's this thing, it will be easy. I've seen people who have moved from one city to another just to
Yes.
go to school. I've seen some who have stayed in the same school and have done their bachelor's, master's, PhD, all because they could navigate and they do the assignment also on time. They won't say that, oh, or they don't do the assignment or cut lectures. If you cut lectures, now even it's even hard to cut lectures. If you don't go for lectures, you will cancel, you revoke your visa. But our time,
Yes.
people will take advantage and doing those things. So if you are here, you want to continue your school, this is what you have to do to survive. You do all your assignment, you attend all the lectures, make sure not just attend, make yourself visible to the lectures so that
Yeah.
they will know you. They will know you in person. I remember sometimes we fake like we don't understand so that we go to the lecturer's office so that he will know. one one guy said told us that I know it's not the best trick, but it's also you take advantage. He said
Yeah.
such that the lecturer will know that if you don't help me, I can't survive. I won't pass. So you'll be surprised that they are disposable. They can even sometimes they even help give you a helpmate because you are suffering too much.
Yeah.
They will give you a good student to help you, even when it comes to writing your
Yeah.
thesis. They will even look for somebody to help you, like write the Chinese version, put certain things in order because you've made your sickness known and you've made your intentions also known.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so
Interesting. Mr. Jerry, you've mentioned so many points within this short time. One thing you mentioned is you not advise somebody to come for bachelor if it's postgraduate. And I also agree by that. I came here as a bachelor student and I could know the difference. That time I was paying fees, but that time my currency was okay. So it wasn't really affecting me. But now, if you are coming to China, you have to pay fees, is fee paying. Trust me, I won't advise you to do that. I'll advise you if you get full scholarship or if you get partial scholarship and it's
exactly.
moderate, it's okay. But if you can pay to, it's okay. If you can
Mhm.
pay, that is for people who cannot pay these school fees. I'll not advise you to come and be struggling. everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for especially for bachelor students.
Yeah,
But for postgraduate, make sure that you get scholarship even with stipends, so that at least you can have something to depend on. And you also mentioned about the activities. In fact, this is something I didn't know. Unconsciously, I love these activities, school activities, going for programs and everything. And when we were about to graduate, I've realized that our professors recommended some specific students to some universities for masters, but some students they didn't do that. And now that I've realized that it's because we involve ourselves in these activities, school programs, and these things that has made them recommended us, not only about your academics or your performance in
exactly.
class. Yeah. So these activities are very, very important. And aside even the recommendation, you meet several people, you learn so many things. China is so big. Going for programs, you learn so many things you never thought of. So I'm very happy you have mentioned this point. That is why I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
also talk much about that.
Mm-hmm. And
Wow.
maybe the other thing I would say is that
Yeah.
you can also write papers. If you are there, don't wait till your course, maybe your master's or PhD require you to publish paper. If you have even first degree or your master's, from
Yeah.
the time you are start learning your course,
Yes.
if you can collaborate with those who are already in the masters, if they can
Yes.
add you to their papers, you work with them, you collaborate with them, doing PhD. Don't wait
Yes.
till it's time for you to do your thesis before you start going to lab. Be visiting. You can find some lab in your school depending on your course, and be talking to people so that
Yes.
by the time they will say you are ready to graduate, some courses will require you publish papers. So by the time they say publish paper, you already have one or two in a
Yeah.
cubicle. Imagine you're a first degree student, even though I say you should not do your, I don't recommend doing first degree, and you've already published at least one paper, which is
Yeah.
required for most masters, and you're applying for scholarship. Who is going to overlook you? They won't overlook you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you take advantage. Be also find out that when it comes to publishing of papers, there are some papers that carry more weight than others. So that one too, you also need to know the difference, so that you need to know to how to go about it. So for students in China, that's the advantage, because not all of us who can go to US, go to other parts of the world to take advantage. If you
Yes.
can't take advantage of those, we cannot have such opportunity. Why not make it happen in China? At West Kra, when you finish, you go back home, and when you go back home with your doctor something, at least you start from somewhere. You won't start from any other
Yeah.
place. Yeah, so that's what you can take advantage. That is for those in China. For those, if you are trying to aim for outside,
Yes.
then you have to start looking for the schools outside. You don't wait till you finish and start applying so that by the time
Yeah.
you are finishing your course, this opportunity will be made ready for you. And some even are able to. It's few occasions I've heard some people are able to move their, like they transfer their course to a
Country.
university outside. So those opportunities are there. But as we are
Yeah.
talking like that, like all other things, yeah, it doesn't mean that when you go you find it easy. No, you have to
Easy. Yeah.
search. I know somebody
Yeah.
who started with over, they said it told me over 500 schools, and the person is now
Mm.
in the US. Finally, the person had 4 universities, all with full scholarship in the US.
Wow.
Yeah, he's not. He planned it and he did it. I got it, and he chose the best one and came to
Yeah.
continue his PhD or his master's here. So those are the opportunities you can get. So in Europe, in Australia, in this thing, and even I would recommend, if you've done your masters or you are doing your
Yeah.
bachelor's in China, I would recommend look for schools in Hong Kong, Taiwan,
Okay.
or at least those places they speak English. I don't know much about Macau. The reason is
Yeah.
that The reason is that with
Yeah.
my stay in China, if I'd stayed the same amount of time in Hong Kong after school, by
Yeah.
now I would have been a Hong Kong citizen.
Oh, I
And with
didn't know
Hong
that.
with Hong Kong passport, you go far. You can go to Canada and all those places. Commonwealth, we, because of how The Nigeria situation mess our passport. We cannot travel.
Yes.
We cannot take advantage of the Commonwealth. But Tanzanians are taking advantage. They can go to Australia for 3 months. Kenyans can
Oh,
go. Canada, we can't go. But if you have a Hong Kong passport, and it's not straightforward, but once you have a working visa in Hong Kong, you are working, you pay your taxes. After some time, you meet all their requirements, and once you meet them,
yes.
you'll be issued. There are a lot of foreigners, including Africans. I know a friend who has a Hong Kong passport. So
Wow.
those are the distinct. That's why sometimes when I get some of this information, those of you know me, you see that in WeChat, I come and put some information and go. That's what I've got. I said, let me share before I forget. So,
Yes.
so that's the opportunity cost. If I stayed in Hong Kong, maybe you might even get a job in Hong Kong. They will not pay you like in China, but you look at the long term effect.
Yes.
Yeah. So those are the things you can also look at.
To our audience, if you don't know why I brought Mr. Jerry, he was sharing so much to me and he has helped me so much in so many ways. And I was like, I didn't want it to be with only me, stay with only me. I wanted him to share with the world, to people who will be watching later, and I know this will be so useful to most people. These are things I never, most of them I never thought of them, and today he's spilling all of them out for free. Thank you so much, Mr. Jerry, for that kind heart to share everything wholeheartedly like that. Wow. You mentioned about getting the visa to the US on this, and that's very true. I remember I last year had some Nigerian friends. They had the visa to the US in China. They went for the visa interview in China. It was so easy. Meanwhile, they had another friend who went back to Nigeria and it was very hard to get a visa. So that is really true. Being in China alone, you have that advantage to get these visas to other countries so easy as compared to your home country, like developing countries like ours. That is something I can also really share based on that
Hmm.
one. Yeah.
Then
Apart,
maybe okay, talk. I'm listening.
yeah, yeah. No, no, no,
What I
no,
was
no. You
what I
can
was going to
continue.
say is that if you're a student and now you're looking at your exit plan, what is
Yes.
your exit plan to leave China? One of them I say is try and get a language translation certificate, and if possible,
Yes.
before you go home, whatever course you are doing, try and go home once and come before you graduate, because the way you left home is not the way things are. So you need to plan your exit. Maybe you are plan. I know some students who apply for scholarship to do masters and PhD.
Yeah.
It never materialized. So what do you do? Maybe you want to continue to stay here. What do you do? Those things all you
Yeah.
have to plan. And one of them is you can go the route of the company, having your own company. I know people
Okay.
who
Yeah.
started, registered their company, organizing themselves small, small. By the time they finished their course, they felt like they didn't want to continue. Or after PhD, they just went the route of their own company, create their own company. But the problem with creating your own company is that a lot of
Yes.
people, when they create a company, they don't balance their account. What I mean, they
Okay.
don't balance their account is that they create a company after they're given the certificate, they've got their first year visa. They will don't pay tax. They don't do anything. So they will wait
Okay.
the following year. They are going for their visa and they won't give them. Then some of them, not all of them, some of them will
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
how cry is like here. If they don't want to give you the visa, they won't give you. It's true they don't,
Yeah.
but you shouldn't not be the contributing factor. You get it? So
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
so that is what you can do. And me, since I finished school, and, I've always gone for my how do you call it, company visa. Every year I go and renew it. I don't have any problem. So that is how it is. For some people, they have a different mindset. That China is not one of those countries you want to stay after school and wait till your visa expire. No, it's not one of those places. They are, when it comes to the immigration law, they are very stringent on it. And God forbid you don't want to leave this country, China. Then I say Abine, you know what I mean. It's like you didn't live on your own. You
Yeah.
were you were forced to. to go. Make sure that
Yeah.
that happen to you. And there are a lot of good people on WeChat. Those that are vocal, you can add them personally, talk
Yes.
to them. You'll be surprised the amount of wealth and information you get from. And they always say when you travel, whether for school or whatever, the circle of friends you live will determine. Actually, some of the great people, I don't know who said it, but it says the circle of friends you have will determine how far you go.
Wow.
Yes,
In
because if
fact,
you have friends and some are surgeons, some are doing this thing, you alone, you feel uncomfortable in that circle of friends. So you need to pull up, or you abandon that circle of friends and go to people that will make you what? Comfortable. And it's true, if you watch, you watch your circle of friends, be observant, look around. The first time I heard it, I thought it was a lie. But when I started looking around, I realized that it's true, the reality will hit you because you have a friend, he's married, you are not married. Out of your 10 friends, 9 are married. They have 2 kids. I'm not saying it's a competition, but all those things subconsciously put pressure on you. Like, I have a friend,
yes.
when I went to Ghana, I saw his house. He's built a very beautiful house. He was also in China. I said, wow, why are dear, papa, papa? He said, oh, I've not, minya dear. Until I went and see his father's house. Then I said, I understand why he said, minya dear. Because by any person who sees your building without knowing your background will tell you why you're there. But you know where you're coming from. You know
Yeah.
the standard your puppy has set. So unya there. I said, okay, I understand now. So the circle of friends you make in
Yeah.
China, it's can determine how far you go. Yes, there are people. I remember this boss thing I was telling you. I didn't know so
Yeah.
much about it, but I asked one guy and he told me, he said, oh, this is how you do it. Do the translation in Chinese. Do it this way and operate it this way. And he was looking at him and said,
Yeah.
look, you have more opportunity than me because he couldn't even speak Chinese, but he knows some ideas. So that is how it is. And when you travel, I hear people who are in the US and Europe and elsewhere.
Yeah.
When sometimes you're easily able to get job just because you can speak Chinese, because Chinese are everywhere. You can also take advantage
Yes.
of the situation. So it's good you plan your exit plan. And I always say that one of the things get all the visas you can get before you leave, so that when you go home
Yes.
and you think that the pressure is too much, you can go and exploit other things. But don't leave those opportunities in China and go home and be struggling for that. If you can take advantage of it here. Yes, for example,
Yeah.
I didn't know that if you have a US visa, you can go to some country visa free. So who
You can
knows?
go to what?
Some countries I know
Sorry, I didn't.
you
Oh,
can go
yeah.
to some countries visa free. I didn't know. So you can find out the specific countries that you can go visa free and what are the conditions. So who knows UK
Oh,
visa or other visa to open other opportunities. So uh, you can take advantage of those things. And if you like, one of the things I also did, I went to Macau, which is visa free, but you need to have at least 6,000 renminbi to show at the border so that they will give you a visa for 2 weeks. When I went to Macau, I
okay.
thought Shanghai was good, but when I went to Macau, I saw that wow, Macau is far, far in treatment of foreigners. Nobody, they are not even
Okay.
conscious of the fact that you are black or you are foreign. Nobody cares. In
Okay.
Macau, and that's why a lot of people say, had it not been because of the system of government China has now, they would have been like Hong Kong.
Yes.
I've never been to Hong Kong, but people say Hong Kong and Macau are basically the same thing. You find foreigners, bus drivers, doing work that hitherto in China is only limited to how do you call it Chinese.
The natives.
So it's
Yes.
if you can go there and see what is happening there, so that you it's all part of the broadening your skills. Well, and one of the things I regretted not doing was that even I had the money to do it. If you have a travel around, Thailand is not so far from China. Singapore, Japan, Korea, you can go there 2 3 days and come back. You need to budget so that you go. It
Yes.
doesn't mean that you have excess money, you are blowing it. Yeah, you just have to save. For example, if you have to save and cut down some food so that you can go there. And here again, Douyin will come in. You find cheap hotels there on
Yeah.
Douyin, on Douyin especially. You find cheap hotels. You can book them ahead and go.
Wow.
And the other thing I want to say before I forget is, when it comes to
Mm.
buying tickets, WeChat tickets are cheap, but don't buy WeChat tickets. When it
Okay.
comes to your travel, buy book.com, which will go to your Alipay.
Book.com. Okay.
Yeah, they have an app called Book. It's a Trip. Sorry, Trip. It used to be
Oh,
Trip. It
trip.com.
used to be C Trip. Now it's Trip.
Okay.
Yes, it used to be C Trip. Use that to buy your plane ticket and your whatever, because and your hotel fee. And when you buy, always look for those additional money to add, because when you can travel, I've used it and it has helped me. You can travel elsewhere, outside
Yeah.
China, US, and other places. And if you don't you want to change your ticket, you can easily do it. They will send you back your money full into your Alipay. But if you
Oh.
use WeChat Pay to go and buy a plane ticket, then you have to be very, very sure. And hotels, you have to be very, very sure that you are going. Because if something happens and you can't go, and they are giving your money, at the time you are buying, they say, "Oh, we'll give you 80%." But before you realize, when they are giving your money, they'll give you 20% of your plane ticket listing. So it's better you pay for extra 100 or 50 on top of your plane ticket. Don't be so concerned about the fact that the price is cheap. And sometimes you have to read in between the line. I had a friend who he thought he was buying the
Yeah.
best deal, cheap ticket to go to Ghana. The longer short of it is that the Chinese plane took him to Dubai, and he had to pay airport money extra 120. Because what they will do is that
Oh.
they will get you your plane ticket. The cheap one does not involve the Dubai or Addis Ababa airport fee.
Okay.
So even though you've paid the ticket, the plane ticket for to Dubai or
Yeah.
to Ghana, but when you get to Dubai, you have to check out, or at this about you have to check out and check in. So when you check out, you are checking in. They'll check out you, look at your plane ticket, and you find out
Mm.
that you've not paid for the airport tax. So
Oh.
for those of you who are listening who like cheap ticket, be wary of that, or else you get stranded. And when you get stranded and you don't have any money on you, wasubeyeshi, and you also will not be happy because that was not your intention. That is how
Yeah.
they hide some of the tickets on WeChat. These guys as cheap tickets. So if you don't look at it, don't read the fine print. This is what happens. Okay.
Wow.
Mm.
In fact, yeah, very soon we'll be ending this live with Mr. Jerry. You have mentioned so much, and within the short time we'll be ending. And thank you so much for willing to share so many things to us. I think this will be so useful to so many people. I personally have learned so much that I didn't know. And I remember you taught me how to sit for conferences in other countries when you were a postgraduate student. I think you forgot that, and that has been so useful. The funny thing is, I also shared to someone, and that person got a conference, free conference, and the person has gone already, and I'm still looking for it.
We
So
thank
as you
God.
said, that is how it is. It's good to share every time. Not everybody can get, somebody can get, and it will be so useful. So, Mr. Jerry, I know so many people will be very happy to contact you personally, privately for any deals or anything. So, if they want to contact you, how can they contact you?
Uh, I think you can share my. I'll send you my phone number. They can add me
Okay.
on that on WeChat and WhatsApp. I'm there, and from there we can pick it up.
Wow.
That would be much better because
Wow. Interest.
yeah,
Mm.
WeChat and WhatsApp should be okay.
All right, sure, sure. So you can contact me anytime and you can reach
Maybe I
Mr.
should
Jerry.
maybe I should give them my Chinese numbers. You already know it, so it's
Yeah.
15921.
Okay.
So you add the Chinese code number, that is either plus 86 or 0086.
Yes.
Then you use one five
One.
nine two
Yeah.
one
Yes.
823
823
944.
944.
So WhatsApp, WeChat, you can get me there.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Jerry, for honoring our invite and being so selfless to share everything that you know. I can feel that willingness to share everything that you have experienced in China. Before we even leave, what are your last words to people? What are your last words to people studying in China?
Learn the language. Take advantage. All that you can take advantage of. If you're a student, I always say for students, get your grades up, be active in the classroom and out of the classroom. So it's very important. And pass all your exams, attend all lectures, and you'll be good. And go outside and learn more, not only in school. Go outside and learn more. And just enjoy your time in China. Open your eyes and enjoy your time in China.
In fact, enjoy your time in China. Don't only study. Thank you so much, Mr. Jerry, for honoring an invite. And I know in the future we'll so love to have you on the podcast to talk about different things about China, about life, and all other things. To our audience, just to remind you, thank you very much for staying tuned or for watching pre-recorded. Every week, we'll be bringing special guests to you to share their life experience about living in China and all other stuffs about China. Thank you, and this is where
Thank you
time will
too.
permit us to end today's discussion. Thank you once again for
Thank you.
staying tuned. Bye bye.
Bye.